I
So,
can't.
Okay.
are you ready for Christmas?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Always,
Uh-huh.
always. So what do you guys do for Christmas?
Well, we go out and look at lights and
Aww, all the fun stuff.
uh-huh.
So have you been over on the north side of town? It's on 9th North and 5th East, I believe it is, to see that house.
Oh, with all of the Disney characters.
No.
Not that one?
No, this is on 9th
Oh,
North.
Oh,
Over by
I've seen that one before.
Yeah, Sheila does a great job. She has lots of lights. So if you're looking for a great light display, that's a good.
You're good to
Oh,
go.
we're good to
We're
go.
live and
We're
sound is good.
Okay.
We sound good? Did she say we sound good?
Woo!
You always sound good.
Hey,
Good
thank you.
morning, everyone. Welcome to Village Vibes again this morning. So you know how sometimes when we're busy, we do like this and we wave out the front window? This, my friend Ethan, is who we are waving at. And I have to tell you, he is Brigham City's little spark of sunshine. He's always so fun. He stops in to see us, and when he does, he always makes us smile. He's always happy. Are you never not happy?
I don't think so.
I've never seen it if you are.
Occasionally I'm not happy.
Well, you don't show anybody around. So Ethan just walks up and down Main Street, or he rides his bicycle. And he's always got a friendly smile and a nice big wave for everybody with his Mountain Dew.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he loves that Mountain Dew.
Show.
Favorite drink, right, Ethan?
Oh yeah.
I know, it's what gets us up and gets us going sometimes.
Right? I know, man.
So our friend Ethan here, he does the most amazing. Tell him what you do, Ethan.
I do origami with one hand.
Yes, he does, and it's beautiful.
And I sell the every Friday at Kent's.
From what time?
From 7 to 11.
So if you don't know where Kent's is, for those of you that are maybe out of town and would like to go and see, Kent's is just on what is it, 3rd North?
Yeah.
Between 3rd and 4th North, right on Main Street. It's a nice little grocery store. So we see our Ethan there sometimes in the morning. And so what are you going to have to sell there on Friday, Ethan? I'm sure it's not peaches.
Manger scenes, angels.
So Christmas stuff right now. Yes.
Anything Christmas.
And tell us how much you sell them for, Ethan. What are your prices?
Well, the manger scenes are $5. The the angels are $3.
$3. And they're beautiful. I've seen it. He does the most gorgeous flowers, and he just does all kinds of fun things with his paper folding. It's so beautiful. So, well, thank you, sir, for being with us this morning. We appreciate you.
Hey, no problem.
And now everybody gets to see why we smile so big. Oh, Ethan's got moves like Jagger. Woo! Yeah. So this is the entertainment. Yeah. And you see his Superman hat because he is Superman. We love it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
I will trade you. I will take my peach back and give you back your Mountain Dew.
Woohoo!
Have a good day, buddy, and thanks for joining us, sweetheart.
Hey, no problem.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, Ethan. Bye, honey.
See you later.
And I'm going to take your little mic. We're going to do a little switcheroo.
We're going to do a switcheroo. We're going to switcheroo to Miss Susan. So we're pretty excited today. We have, goodbye, honey. Thank you, Ethan. We have our special friend here. Susan and I have known each other. How long, Suze? Oh, geez, 20-some years.
Yeah,
20-some years. Susan used to work with us, but then she got the opportunity to go and watch her little grandsons, which she's still doing. Mm-hmm. How many years, Suze?
Well,
how old is Hank?
Hank is 6, but Max
But you were doing it before with just with Max. And how old's Max? Is he 8?
He'll be 9 in January.
He's almost 9. Oh, my gosh.
He's almost 9.
Oh, my gosh. So today is also Education Day at Village. So Susan does our quilters kindergarten class here, and she does an amazing job with that class. Just a little plug for that with Susan. Every third Wednesday, she has one class in the morning from 10 until 1, and then she does an afternoon class from 1:30 to 4:30.
Yes.
And then on the third Saturday, she does one from 10 until 1 again.
Yes.
So if you're needing a little help with a special project, a lot of them just come for the social part, but
Yeah.
a lot of them actually do come and have Susan help do things. So this morning, I've asked Susan if she will do her scalloped binding, because sometimes that gives people a little trouble. Every time I do it, I still have to ask her, will you please help me do this, Susan? So I'm going to let Susan take it away. Take it away, Miss Susan.
Okay. First of all, a little bit of things to think about before. If you're going to do a scallop, it's best to mark your project, whether it's a quilt or like this little table topper, before it's quilted. That way your quilter can quilt out to that point, but not quilt over it, so that when you trim it, you're cutting through your quilting. If you decide after you've had it quilted, you want to scallop it, you need to mark your scallops and then do a stay stitch just barely inside that mark, so that when you cut it, your quilting isn't going to start unraveling.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know about that.
Yes.
Good. Oh, that's good.
Now, I haven't cut this whole thing, so you can actually see on this side of my little table topper the blue lines where I marked my scallop.
So, Susan, can you tell us how you mark your scallops?
Well, I have different sets of rulers for scallop borders, but if you don't have that, you can use a plate from your cupboard, an ice cream bucket lid, depending on the size. And you also need to do a little bit of math. But I find the easiest way to do the math is to take a adding machine tape, just the paper, and cut it the length of your quilt and fold it. And that will give you your divisions, and then you'll know what the scallop will need to be along the edge. And that's one of those no maths.
We like that.
Yes.
Sometimes we need that.
because you're going to get your even divisions. And sometimes you have to fold it in half and then in half, and other times you have to do it in thirds. But you'll kind of just experiment with that. When I trim it, I don't use a rotary cutter, because you don't want to overcut these little points in here. You want to just barely clip to them and around. So I do use a nice pair of scissors.
For your whole thing, you wouldn't even use your rotary cutter like around here. You use scissors for the whole thing?
I use scissors on this, because you've got a line you're following.
That's
and
true.
It's all going to be inside your binding.
Okay.
Another thing with scallop, you have to use a bias binding.
Yes.
A straight binding will not stretch. Now you can see how I've got stretch in this, because this is what you need to go around your corners. Not corners, curves. Let me get the right.
Well, corners too. You
Yeah.
are going around your corners.
Well, you go
You're
into
little
a point.
Sure.
Now, when you sit at the sewing machine, I really like to do bindings with a walking foot, but the scallop doesn't allow you to do that very easily, because you've got to be able to, and we'll show you how you manipulate it around.
Now, Susie, if they had a like the FAF where their foot is narrower, you could still use your walking foot on that.
Yeah.
But the
Bernina's walking foot has that bigger
wide.
It has that bigger bulk behind, and then you can't get the binding to bend right. So I just got my 1/4-inch foot on, and that's where I will sew this. This is a 2-inch wide cut binding, and so it's going to finish.
Now, this is 2-inch. Did I hear you right?
Yeah, I cut this one 2-inch, but this is a small project.
Oh, okay. So you don't, if it's a bigger quilt.
It would be a bigger one.
Okay.
But I cut this in 2 because I don't want it more than a 1/4-inch on the top, and a 1-inch after it's, in half is going to be just perfect to come around to the back and hand stitch down. Okay. The main thing you need, of course, is scissors and an awl of some kind. Bianni's awl is great. I have several different ones that I brought to just show. I've even been desperate and used a really long doll needle before. It's just something that you can catch and pull that binding selvage edge. It's not really a selvage, but it's the raw edge back, so you can go around that.
point.
So we're going to start sewing now. And Liz is going to move the camera, so I'm not in it, but the project is.
We're going to do our best here. I don't know if they can hear me. They probably can.
Okay, when I start sewing, I always sew on the biggest curve to start because you've got to have an area you can join your binding at the end.
Oh, good point. Biggest curve.
So I will leave it like this and I will start over here. Now what I'm doing is I'm lining this up with the edge and I'm going to just set my foot down. I want my needle to stay down. My machine has a needle down position. If it doesn't, every time you stop, please rotate your needle so it's down in your fabric because you don't want it to shift. And we're just going to start right there. Come on.
Notice how Susie is holding down the threads.
Oh yeah, hold on.
That's a Bernina thing.
Well, that's a sewing thing that I learned when I
Try and adjust
was really young.
Sorry,
so I don't have knots on the back side.
That ugly bird's nest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm putting the edge of the binding.
You're not pinning, you're not clipping.
I don't
You are
on this
just
one.
holding it as you come
Now,
around.
as you can kind of see, this is kind of flipping up. That's because I'm not stretching this, but I'm laying it flush against this edge. So it does.
Pull and stretch.
Okay. You don't want to pull and stretch because then you kind of lose what you need to put on the back side.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm going to just sew. Coming around, and I'm just a 1/4 inch in. And this smaller project is easier to manipulate. A big quilt, if you take your time, you'll get it to come out just fine. Now, what I do is when I'm coming into this little,
your little point.
Yeah, the point, and I want to stop when I'm about a 1/4 inch. So when I turn it and put my foot down, I'm going to be right on the edge again. This is where I need to leave that up, but then I need to grab right here, and I need to just fold this back. See how I'm just folding the edge around?
So are you making a little pleat in there, Susan?
It doesn't show up as a pleat. It's just a tuck so I can get away from that point.
Kind of just moving that bolt
I'm
back
moving that
to where you
bolt
already
back.
sewed.
And when I get out here a bit, we'll do the next one, and then I'll pull it out and we'll show what it looks like. And I use my awl all the way around.
Do not try this at home on your own.
Oh,
Come
yes,
see
you
Susie.
can.
No, I'm just
This is
teasing.
my goal for next year.
Liz has made a goal to do this next year.
So I'm going beyond until I get to about a 1/4, and then I can rotate it. And see, when I put my foot down, I'm right here on this 1/4. So I've got to tuck this, and I use the awl to pull it back out of the way. And then when I put the foot down, my first stitch is not going to catch the binding that's back here. It's just going to go forward into that binding. Now when I get about halfway around this curve, I'm going to pull it out and we'll show you what it looks like. And like I said, if you just take your time, they'll come out perfect every time.
Susan makes this look so effortless.
Okay, I'm going to raise my needle.
A word, right? It is a word.
Okay, now if we look real close at this, I haven't caught this part of the binding at all, and this just has this little, almost like it's a little tuck.
But it did not catch.
No, it's not a tuck. It's just the bulk is folded over. Now, because of sewing it the way I did, when I turn this is going to just wrap around and stretch and be perfect to go all the way around this. And see, it just comes over to the stitching that I've left here on the back side with the bobbin. And so then I'll stitch it by hand right there. I don't have to do anything in this corner.
So what do you do right there at that?
I might put one pin in right there as I'm coming around. I think Fran ran to get a pin.
Okay, I'm gonna.
But I might put one pin right here in this point
Sorry, Susie, these are big pins. I didn't have a little
That's
one there.
okay.
I know
It's just to show
large.
right here at this point, right there.
Just right where you pivoted with your needle.
I'll put a pin just to hold it enough so that as I'm coming around this way, that's where I stop and go and I might do a couple stitches right there to hold it.
So you don't have to miter it or anything
No,
there.
no.
Okay.
Now, as you lay it out on your table, this will it's similar to how gravity works, if you throw something up, it's going to come down.
I know about gravity.
This is just going to kind of tuck on its own. You don't have to do anything with it.
Nice.
It'll just kind of tuck on its own.
From that pivot's where you set that up.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
That's how easy it is. Now, a deeper pivot or a deeper scallop, a point, and if you go deeper in, is a little bit more tricky. It still works the same way.
So a shallow scallop is probably a beginner.
Better.
The best beginner is a serpentine.
Yeah.
Because it goes, well, let me lay this down. Instead of coming into a point, it just curves this way around. So it doesn't actually have a pivot point. It just curves in and out. And then you're just going to have to make sure that you don't stretch your binding as you're going around the outside. And then you've got to kind of stretch the fold part or the inside of your binding as you come around this inner point. That's the easiest one for a beginner to learn.
So good to start with that one.
A serpentine.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Because then that'll still give you that little bit of a curvy, but not down into that point.
Yes.
So, and if you're doing one that has a deeper point down in, would you have to do like a little miter on that one, or would it still work?
It will still work with this.
The same way.
But to get it to lay flat, you might have to do when you're stitching it
on the back
side, do a couple little stitches just to pull it in.
Nice.
At that point. But
that's beautiful.
That's what it will look like.
See, that's pretty painless.
So tell us when a curved binding makes sense. I mean, you probably don't need to do it on every single quilt. Why would you want to do a curved binding?
If you want
I'm gonna come back around so I'm looking at your face, not your side of your head. There we go.
If you want to put a quilt with a dust ruffle, but you don't want to trip on your corners.
Oh.
At least round those two edges. Okay. Those two bottom corners. At least round those two.
Oh,
the top ones can be left square. But that way you're not going to trip over it. It will hang down nicely on the bed with your dust ruffle.
Sometimes they just look pretty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times a designer will give you a pattern in their pattern of the scallop that they did because they thought the scallop looked great. This particular table topper was supposed to be square.
But look how pretty it is with your
then I was
designs.
looking at it and thought, well, with these mountains, because that's what these are called.
Mountains.
It has that perfect point. So kind of look at your project and decide, well, this looks like it could use a scallop, or nah, this one will be better just squared off.
And if you're going to hang that quilt up, you probably don't want scalloped edges.
It's not as easy because it's harder to put a sleeve on a scallop.
Even to pound little tiny nails in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, pins, not nails. Don't
say not nails.
No,
please.
don't do a nail. Please say no to that one. No, we use little applique pins sometimes to hang on smaller projects here at the store. So that's great.
But
see, that wasn't too bad. Of course, you've done a lot of them. So
I have done a lot.
So when we try ours for the first few times, and every time I go to do it, I always make Susan help me mark it for my scallops, and then I say, okay, now how was it I was supposed to? So maybe I can go back and look at this one over and over again.
Yeah.
Maybe next year I do one along with you.
There we go. We're going to do one next year.
We're going to do one next year and make it work.
I hope to see it.
We hope to see it.
Yes. Table toppers look really good because, it kind of accents the center of your table.
And a good practice size.
Right.
It is because you're not trying to fight a whole quilt and getting them turned and everything.
And it probably works a lot easier too when you're home and you've got your machine down in your table and you've got more workspace.
Setup.
Yeah, your normal setup and a little more workspace there. So thank you, my friend Susan.
You're welcome. I hope it helps someone with their scallops.
Yes.
It will. Betty Jo Davis said good morning, and she said fascinating. So I think this is good information for people to learn. I'm just trying to see if I've missed any other comments. I don't think I have. Well, we have some announcements.
Well, we do have a couple announcements. We sure do.
Let me grab, Susan, can I take your mic?
You bet.
And we're going to go back to the center here, and we'll come over and stand and do some announcements.
Okay.
Because they got to see.
They got to see.
What we're looking like.
What we're looking like. We're looking like this. We're looking like
Stay
this.
there while I make sure we're in frame.
Okay, stay here.
My head's probably not, because your head's barely.
Then your head is going to be chopped off.
Okay, this is as good as it gets today.
Look at this. Do you see what? We're so holly jolly. I got to tell you, though, I got to rip this sucker off as soon as we're done, because it's too hot. I can't work in a sweater around here all day. But Friday, December 15th is National Ugly Sweater Day. We're going to do, I'm not going to tell you what, because it's a surprise. You have to come into the store wearing your ugly sweater, and you'll be pleased with what we're doing that day. That's all I'm saying. It's a surprise. It's going to be a surprise. So come on down. All day long, we'll be doing a party all day long from 10 until 5. So come on down and see.
And we're not going to judge if you are wearing a sweater. It can be ugly or not.
Well, we're not going to say that's the ugliest sweater we've ever seen, because, we actually made a comment one time to a lady about her ugly sweater, and she was offended.
Yeah, she thought it was really pretty. This one is ugly. This is 100%.
This one is even uglier. I'm just saying.
I'm not usually toting
that. I like that.
I don't have any control over it.
It is great. It is great. I like it. So that's this Friday. We'd like you all to come down and say hello and join in the merriment. And as promised, we told you that today we were going to show you our blocks from Second Saturday. So this block here we called Aerial Bouquet. It's a 12.5-inch block, and
let's go a little closer. I want to see it.
Okay, you get on up there, Miss Liz.
I'm thinking this is in frame, but I can't see today, so
we're guessing. We're just guessing. So we only did one of those, and then you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming, because this little block. I hope I'm in frame.
I'm sure you are.
We'll check and see. The Lemoyne Star block. That's kind of our store mascot block.
Yes.
So anytime you do anything that I've designed, you're going to be doing these. But there's an amazing ruler that helps you do this. We also gave you a pattern to paper piece
and we gave you
lots of
videos basically. Lots of videos to watch.
And the ruler is called the Rapid Fire Lemoyne Star ruler. Deb Tucker, Studio 180, designed that ruler, and she's such a genius. There are no Y seams in this block, so it made it so much easier to do, and I just love them. I think they're beautiful.
I think they really are beautiful. They've got a statement to them.
They really do. So those were our blocks that we did for this month. We did do 4 of the Little Lemoynes, but only 1 of our Aerial Bouquet. So Donna and I, when we were designing this, we decided, because it's patriotic, that's summertime, and what better than fireworks in the summertime?
I love fireworks.
I don't, but I think they're a waste of money. But when my kids were little, I don't. I like to watch, but I don't like to set them off at my house.
No. And we've only done that one year.
I did. Even sparklers, they burn.
Yeah.
I think every one of my girls at one point or another have been burnt with a sparkler. They're But so there is actually a firework, that one that goes off great big in the sky. It's called an Aerial Bouquet. So that's where this lovely block got its name from. So we've been having so much fun doing Second Saturday. And
we really have. We have a couple more spots. So if we're enticing you with seeing all these blocks, come in. Down. You can sign up.
We signed another new person up on Saturday.
Oh, good.
She came in and was, what is going on back there? And so when they told her, she said, can I do it with you?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's your last blocks that you've missed out on. Get those done and come on in and join. So we hope you'll join us. So we'll keep it short and sweet today.
Well, I don't even know what. I forgot to wear my watch today. I can't even tell you.
It is 9:54.
We did pretty good.
Really good with having a
demonstration.
Today was Educational Tuesday at Village. We really appreciate our friend Susan coming and showing us.
Thank you.
And we are so happy. We love
Ethan. And you guys might see him when you're in here, because he does stop by and waves, and he was
He
so
does.
kind to come today.
Yes, he was. So he's just such a little spark of joy. We could all take a lesson from Ethan.
I
Ethan has
think
had
so,
some
too.
serious health problems in his life,
Yes.
and you never see that young man without a smile or a friendly wave. So we adore that young man.
That's what he told me today. He said he started doing origami when he was 10,
Oh,
when he was doing chemo and radiation.
Yeah.
So he's and one-handed. I mean,
I know.
it is amazing.
It really is. It really is. So we love to support our Ethan whenever we can. So we hope that you all have a great week and that you don't run yourself ragged this week with trying to get all those Christmas things done. I know, a big sigh because I have very little done. If I don't start running myself ragged pretty soon, ain't nobody gonna get nothing at my house. Just saying. I did see this really funny. I don't remember if it was on Facebook where it was, but anyway, it was this lady comedian, and she says, "Ain't nobody doing anything for Christmas but me. I have to do everything. I buy the gifts. I buy the tree. I put the lights on. I wrap the presents. I cook the meals. I do everything." So this year, she says, on December 24th, my husband said, "Can I do anything for you?" She says, "I almost killed him." Nobody, because it's all done, right? But that's when a lot of the guys think just on Christmas.
I know.
Yeah,
and remember, we're not open on December 24th this year, so send your husbands December 23rd.
Right. Tell them, listen, if you're going to wait till the last minute, you're going to get me that gift certificate that I really want. You got to get in there on the 23rd. So we hope you all have a lovely
week. And Village Bucks.
Oh, Village Bucks. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Good reminder. So Village Bucks, we started those December 1st. Sometimes you might have to remind us at the register because sometimes we forget to give them. But for every $1 you spend before taxes, we're going to give you the equal amounts in Village Bucks. And what you're going to do with those, my sweet friend Susan that you just met, her husband Rudy is our auctioneer, and he does an amazing job and makes the party so fun. On New Year's Day, we actually have an auction, and we have quilts and books and patterns and fabrics and all the things. So, but you cannot use regular money. You can only use your Village Bucks on those. So,
on the auction, you can shop in the store with real money
a little bit before. We'll have some specials. We always have a nice treat for you.
Yes.
So, come on in and join us too on New Year's. But make sure that we give you those Village. I have not obviously had enough
Village Bucks.
Village Bucks. Village Bucks. That doesn't sound. Never mind. Village Bucks.
And those also stop. We stopped giving those out also on December 23rd.
On the 23rd.
So
yes,
so remember that.
Yes, we do. So there we go. So as I always say.
Yes.
So we want you to do the 5-10 rule again. Remember what we talked about last week. When you're 10 feet away, give them a smile. When you're 5 feet away,
say hi.
Say hi. So that's always a lovely nice self this time of the year. Give yourself an extra maybe an extra bubble bath if you like a bubble bath.
Yeah, good idea.
Do something nice for yourself. So thank you all so very much for joining us again this Tuesday for Village Vibes. Have a great week, folks. Bye now.